Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now, 865-243-TALK. That's 243-8255. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
This is the Patrick Riggins Show. Bring it! Bring it! We're here every week delivering the truth. Logical, consistent, and at times cold and hard. But it is still the truth. And wouldn't you rather have that instead of a nice, soft, cushy lie? Of course you would. Truth is consistent and logical. It stands on reason. You can always count on it, just like this very show. Bringing you this exercise in logic and reason is the radio station erupting 100,000 watts of power into the atmosphere. That would be none other than 100.3 WNOX. And along with the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network. It allows the Patrick Riggins Show to be heard in 5 of these great southeastern United States and 2 time zones. But that only covers the radio frequency end of the broadcast. You can also listen and, in fact, view this radio show at the station website located at www.wnoxfm.com. As Tori peeks in and out of the webcam, there not only do you get the audio at that address, as it gets sent out to the broadcast tower, you get the video as well, courtesy of the in-studio webcam. If you are fumbling around with the web browser or just waiting for Windows to boot up and didn't get that web address, here it is again. It's wnoxfm.com. And while you're at it, dump that Windows operating system and go to an alternative one like Linux. That'll probably help out with that boot up quite a bit. Anyway, speaking of alternatives, our show producer Tori is right here in the studio with us today, peeking in and out of the webcam.
Being silly.
Being silly. Now, you've got, we're going to mention, you've got some gigs coming up, correct?
Yes, mini gigs, actually.
So those are small ones?
Yes,
Da-dun.
pocket size. Wah, wah. Court Jar. Court Jar is playing at Union Place in the Old City coming this Friday. I believe show starts at 9 and goes till 11. That's right across from the Crown and Goose, which is where I'll be playing with formerly the Invaders. It's called the Beat Club now. We'll be performing at the Crown and Goose, St. Patrick's Day weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Beat Club being the
Invaders,
English.
the British Invasion
British,
tribute, the British Invasion tribute band.
Yes.
We all talk with the accents, and you think we're British.
You know, I've recently, I used to think I had a good English accent, but I recently figured out I do not.
Mine's
so
horrible.
I'm not even going to try it.
Mine's horrible, so if you talk to me out there, I don't ever do the accent. It's terrible.
Well, I got laughed at when I did mine. So I'm just not even going to try it.
I always sound like one of them off of the Yellow Submarine cartoon.
I think mine sounds like fingers on a chalkboard or something along those lines. All right. Thank you to all the listeners this week, both old and new. And we are getting tons of new ones every week. So much so, it is hard to keep everyone apprised of what this show stands for and what we talk about here on the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network and the Patrick Riggins Show. But don't worry, since you are in this audience, you are demonstrating you possess above average intelligence. So I have no worries about you catching on quickly. But if you'd like to do some homework on this show during the week, feel free to hit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Patrick Riggins Show. And that's all together. There you can listen to all of the shows we have done here, along with the individual segments if you'd rather just zero in on a particular topic. During this first segment, since it's usually a quick one, I'd like to hit on something which I've talked about before on this show, and it usually crops up again every few months, but I wanted to cover it again since our audience is expanding so rapidly. What I want to address is the misconception that seems to be growing in this country that the people in Washington are the ones in charge. They are the ones whom we must obey. They're the ones setting the rules of the game. Look, the people in government are not our rulers. They are not in charge of us. We are in charge of them. The reason we elect these people is to do the work we don't have time to do because we're too busy earning a living, where most of us are anyway. We don't have time to vote on laws and ensure the military is funded, those types of things. Notice I didn't say anything about ensuring entitlements are funded. Those of you who have listened to this show for a while know entitlements are blatantly unconstitutional. Therefore, not even our employees in Washington should be voting on those things, even though they do. But getting back to my point, we don't have time to take care of all this stuff, the little necessary and constitutional things that need to be done from day to day. And since we can't do that, we hire people to do it for us. That is what we do when we elect a representative. We are hiring them. In other words, they are working for us. They should not be dictating to us what we can and cannot do, where we can go, what firearm we can buy or sell. We should be dictating to them what they can and cannot do. That is why we have a constitution. It isn't to give us rights. It's to tell the government only what we allow it to do, nothing more. I say this over and over again. We were here first, then the states, then the federal government. That's how it works. For some reason, though, and I've touched on this point also before on this show, for some reason in this country we have people who desire to be ruled. They want a ruler over them. I don't know if it's because they're afraid of trying to make decisions for themselves, or if they're not confident in doing so, or what. But they definitely crave someone to tell them what to do. They want a king, one person to whom they can pay deference. I don't know if these people have a personality defect, or they lack something in their lives, or hope by filling it with this supreme earthly ruler that will help, or what. But we have to work to educate and wean these types of people off government, which will help them build confidence in themselves to live without this daily intervention of the government bureaucracy. Anyway, we're up on the first break here on the Patrick Riggins Show. When we come back, we'll get into a little bit of stuff about Ronald Reagan, and we'll hit some stuff on Obama as well, and spending and all those nice governmental types of things. And Tori will also be here as well. So join us in a couple of minutes.